and I cut down like prints that didn't work out because in printmaking you do an addition, and then I glued it onto this piece of wood, and then I coated it with a resin. So I sold a bunch of these. So it was a way to make use of prints that weren't part of the edition. And then on the back, I just you can see I wasn't selling them for very much, but I made some ridges so that they could hang on the wall. So that's, you have to think about that with a found surface. How are you going to hang it? Okay. Hold on just a second. Grab another example.
This book, and it
Yes.
has to be hanging. Is that correct?
Yes, you got to figure out how to hang it. That's part of the problem. Okay, this
Okay.
this is kind of a big a big piece, and it's on wood as well. It's a silk screen, and I jigsawed the piece out so that it has a organic edge. Okay, and then the grain of the wood became part of the piece. I just showed this in my solo show I had at Bell House back in the fall. So it was nice to see it on display again. So it's a mushroom coral that I silk screened, and I had a whole installation that's on your homepage. Well, no, it's not on this semester's homepage. But then I made these means of hanging it. I drilled a keyhole into a block of wood, but then I had to put another block of wood down here to balance it out against the wall. Okay, but the keyhole locks in place. So when you put that on the screw and then you move it to this side, it locks it. But these are tricky, very tricky to drill. You use a router with a keyhole bit. Okay, and this is another piece, and this is on MDF. And this was originally a painting or mixed media work on paper, and I used acrylic inks, acrylic paint, a quill pen in order to draw this Japanese or paint this Japanese mushroom, and it glows in the dark. This is the infamous one that Jelly brought up last time, the one that the poor lady janitor almost had a heart attack because it glows so much. But I took this to Regal Plastics and had them scan my drawing, and then they used a router to cut a CNC router to cut the wood so that you got this really nice organic edge, and then the piece itself becomes a cross between two-dimensional and three-dimensional art. So here I'll try to hold it up, but it it glows like crazy. It was also at the show I had in the fall, and you can see I like to stipple, uh, but it's a real study in organic form and light and line. Okay, so just some things, food for thought. And then I've mentioned my book, Slick, which was done on oil pipe gaskets. So this is rubber. These are rubber gaskets. Woo, and they stink. They smell. Stinky art. I sometimes make stinky art. So it's a book. This is probably the most successful thing I've done as an artist. It's in the collection of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. It's been shown all over New York, New Orleans, Houston, the Art League, Austin at Big Medium, and of course San Antonio at Bill House most recently, um, and I had a traveling project in a vintage RV that went to Rockport and Houston and all over. Was
This has
shown
been
down at.
around.
It's been around. These little mutant shrimp, they travel. They get around. So these are silk screens of refineries in Corpus Christi. Photographs I shot. These are prints relief prints, collograph prints from Gulf Coast plants. But the oil goes through here. This is the gasket. So these are circular cutouts from larger gaskets that fit. And then the oil flows through here. So I made these as the cover for the book. And you can see I did 20. So this is a 7 of 20. Okay, so that's just to give you an idea of different surfaces, different approaches to surfaces.